Hello and welcome to another quick look. This time I'm taking a look at the Mims beginning, which is a cut simulator with some RTS elements in it, and it kinda got hit with the spore stick, so the creatures in the world kinda looks like it dropped out of one of the spore worlds, even though it doesn't have anything to do with the actual spore. The game is currently in early access. This is the release version of the early access on the day of the release of the early access, and it's apparently going to be fully finished in about 5 to 6 months, so later portion of the 2015. Currently it has the story mode in it, and it will have the survival mode as well later on. The story mode currently has 2 tutorial missions and 10 other missions, which apparently is supposed to take about 16 to 20 hours or so, according to the devs on the forums. I played through about half of the missions, and it took about that time as estimated, but due to some strange game design ideas, I'll tell about those in a moment. So let's jump into the story immediately here, and I'm gonna go into the prologue here, which is maybe the easiest way to show you the game without having to hassle with too many things later on. So let's go to the prologue part 1. I'm gonna skip the tutorial. There we go. So these are the Mims, the Wimley there explaining the things. I'm gonna skip the cutscenes as we don't really need to know about the story, and we get into the game, and they tell us about some random things in their tutorial part. So this is the floating island. So all the gameplay happens on these floating islands, and this is the prologue one. First thing that actually bothered me a bit about this game is the camera controls. You have the mouse on the sides to turn the camera. I didn't find a keyboard cut for that. And then you can use WASD to move the camera. Also, you can zoom in and out as you wish. And the camera goes kind of crazy sometimes when you zoom in into, let's say, like this island too much, and there you see how the camera just goes nuts. So that's a bit of an issue I had with the camera controls in the game. And this is the UI. So up here is my animals, my guardians and workers, which is basically a fighter unit, and my worker unit. Then we have a menu, same workers and guardians. This is the biomass, which you need to harvest to build things, and you also need gems, which you get by selling the animals. Down here is the timeline, so you can actually see events happening within the game in this timeline. We currently have like no upgrade for it, so we don't see anything, and you can upgrade to see them further in the timeline. For example, you see these Kateruhus here, which are basically these worm thingies that eat your bananas, which is the biomass. And for this mission there is no other event at the moment. You can see these actually happening from here, so there's different smells. Fruit smell, creature smell, and other smell which I don't remember it was. And when the smell goes high enough, it attracts some of these nasty creatures. So these are basically pest animals, which will be attracted by the fruit smell, and they will eat your fruit basically, which of course reduces your harvesting basically. And creature smell, when you have a lot of units of your own, you have animals. Also these pests count, so if you have a lot of animals, let's say creatures, on the map, it attracts predators, and the predators will attack, and that's where you actually need fighter units. But anyways, and the next thing here is the objectives, so you can see what you need to do in here. The game is sometimes a bit vague on what you need to do and how you have to do it, so you may have some issues with that. I had a bit of trouble learning how to do the things and what I needed to actually do to do these things. So hopefully in the early access this gets improved a bit to tell a bit more what you need to do. There's also electricity, so that's one of the things we can do. On the top right here we have the speeds, ignore that, and this is the psi power you have, and when you click on this here, you have different abilities which you can use. So this is a god game, and in god games like Populous or Black and White or whatever in that same genre, you have fires you can do. You can heal your units, you can speed it up, you can do explosions, and there are some unlocked versions as well, which you will get when you progress the game. So let's close that. Actually, I can keep it open. I kind of like to keep this open. And on the left here, you have the building menu. So there's the buildings we can do. All the buildings have also upgrades. So you can upgrade the building to level 1, level 2, level 3, and so forth and forth. And down here is your plants, basically. And currently we have these bio-ants, which are these banana-flinging tentacles, whatever they are. And they are flinging those bananas for our Mims to harvest. So let's get going. So basically, the first thing we need is the Psy Tower. Psy Tower is basically your city center, which is this massive tower. And it dictates where you can build things, and it's also the place where you can spawn more Mims. So let's put it there. And when you place down a building, it creates this kind of hologram, and all your Mims, which now have this icon on top of them, are gonna go and basically build the building by basically worshipping the hologram for a bit, and then it appears. You are basically the god to them. That's just it's kind of guiding them with power. And we can actually speed time in there. And the building actually costs me 10 gems, so you have to be careful with the gems, because they are a kind of finite resource until you get animals to sell. So you may screw yourself over if you just spam buildings and do things wrong. So we need 350 biomass, which means we have to build an extractor. Extractors are basically where you throw the bananas. So I'm gonna put an extractor over there. And let's let these guys run in there again. So once we have an extractor and we have space for biomass, some of the Mims will collect these bananas and throw them into the extractor, which is basically a massive, like a grinder. They're basically making banana smoothies and drinking those to build the buildings. So let me speed up that as well. Up here we can actually now do the replenish, sudden pickup to hasten my units. And soon I can actually burn down some of these guys. So the pests are eating my bananas, and I can now use within this range, which is the building range as well, from the tower, which can be upgraded by upgrading the tower here. Here's the upgrade level 2, and you can also retrieve those Mims, like I said. So I'm gonna use the Psy power, and I'm actually gonna blow up some of those worms. If my guys weren't actually in there, in the middle. So they are fighting for the bananas, basically, and missing the grinder there. There we go. So, there we go. So, zap that. So he took some damage. And it's a good idea to get rid of these guys. I'm gonna spawn a couple of these bio-ants. As you can see, there is much more of these plants as well. For example, there's a fruit that throws bananas to 4 directions around it. Then there is like a double shot, and there are some other ones as well. They're actually quite fun to use. So I'm just gonna put down one of these in here. These cost gems, and they slowly just grow up from the ground. So we'll get some more bananas now. So our banana biomass is getting up. We needed 350 for these missions, which means we have to build silos. Silos are basically where you store your biomass. So put one in there, and actually I'll make another one right next to it, because each of these has space for 150, and I needed 350, which means I need 2 of them. I could have actually upgraded this one as well, but it does cost gems. Actually, would have been cheaper to on the gem front to actually do it that way. Maybe if I cancel that one. No. Demolish. Oh, it doesn't actually refund you. Great. I guess we are upgrading that then. So, like I said, don't screw yourself over with those. Yeah, this upgrading is much better idea. So now we have a space for that. I'm gonna upgrade this one as well once the bananas are thrown in there. This is a bit of a problem. When you're building a building, all your Mims pretty much go to build the building, and it means no one is actually collecting the bananas. So you may have to wait to actually get those. Is this thing really actually fling those bananas into the water there? As you can see, these have basically this cone where they will throw the bananas, and it's kind of random. So the thing is basically missing where it's supposed to throw those. I'm gonna make one more. It's good you have a lot of bananas. You can actually directly control these as well. Turn out the autonomy and just control them yourself. Like, go there, finish that. Or whatever you need to do. So, one thing we could do is upgrade this one as well. But I think we'll just speed up and wait for the money to roll in. Actually, I may need one more. I'm gonna upgrade the other silo as well. And then we're just gonna go look at some bananas being thrown around. The funny thing about these guys throwing the bananas into the extractor is that they can actually miss. Like, hit the sides or just completely miss like that guy. It's kind of funny. So now they're working quite fast to increase my biomass collection. And the next thing you need is probably a biolab and a spaceport. Which kind of sounds strange to have spaceports. I'm not sure exactly what these memes are, but they do have like a space technology available to them. So I'll wait for the 350 biomass first. I think there is actually one more of these now. Chop them. That one is almost dead. You can kill it once the Psi power regenerates. There we go. Now we should have a 350. So that's completed. And now we need a 4 chonos. Chonos are basically the chicken. So I'll build a biolab which can spawn those chickens. We can turn this that way. Doesn't really matter. Another way to deal with these pests would be to build warriors or guardians who would kill these on their own. But this level actually does not allow you to build those warriors yet, because it's actually in the next mission where you are taught how to use them. So that's done, and then we can make the spaceport in there as well. So that's all the buildings we need for now. And the warriors or the guardians are actually one of my biggest issues with the game, because it is quite a lot of micromanagement to properly run the guardians around to fight those enemies, and you may have to manually control them all the time. And their combat AI is also pretty bad, and they will just shoot the enemy once or twice, then the enemy comes to basically melee range, and they will run away, the guardian, and then they are kind of screwed. So this is the spaceport. We have this transport here, and there's some space for different animals. Plus, you need to load or fuel the transport. I'm gonna fuel it now, so it's now ready to go once this is fueled. And there's all these options to load or unload, offload certain animals, which we need to build from here. So here's the research chono, but this building actually needs power or electricity, so we need to actually get the electricity going next. So we need a wind turbine, or maybe 2 even. In the meantime, I'm just gonna zap one of those again, so it's dead. And there's an extra one again. Can we actually research the... we need to get the science center for that. For the research. So let's make a turbine. It doesn't actually matter where the turbine is. Let's put it there. Different islands, I mean, basically different maps or levels, have different basically wind levels. And in some levels, the wind power is a really good way to get electricity, but in some levels, there's just no wind at all, and you have to get it other ways. There's basically a generator that makes power out of the biomass, so that's a good way to get that as well. So now we have power loading there, and we are getting this fruit smell and creature smell here, and it shows that wind speed is high on this map. So we're gonna get more more things eating our bananas soon, but it's fine. And the chickens actually eat the bananas as well. They need to grow up to a certain level. So I'm just gonna pop up a chicken from there. So we need 4 of those. And like I said, they will run in there and eat some of my bananas, which will make me not produce that much biomass. So you have to have enough of these flingers to be properly able to feed your chickens and also still get enough biomass to build things. So the chicken is ready, should be ready. Next chicken, actually that was the research, so now we're actually making the chicken. And we're still kind of low on power. I may have to get more power. Also that is my happy chono running around. And it's gonna go and start eating. So here's the growth down in the bottom right. And they'll try to eat the bananas. Poor chicken. Someone please give me a banana. But anyways, they need to eat the bananas to grow up, and then they can be loaded on the ship. Let's make another chicken. We have quite a lot of those worms around. I need to start killing them a bit more. He took some damage, he's fine. Oof, that's a lot of worms. You can actually knock them off of the map with the explosion, and it actually is a really good way to deal with enemies, because it does one-shot them that way. Next chicken. We could actually add a couple of these flingers as well to deal with enemies. I'm really tempted to bomb there, but there's too many of my own guys nearby as well. Also, I may hit the chickens, which is definitely not good. I'm gonna add one more bioman here. Actually, let's do two of them. Why not? Get some more bananas being flung around. And let's wait for some more biomass to get the next chicken. So if there was pests on this level, predators on this level, having all these plus the chickens and my own population running around would definitely put the creature smell really high, and we would be in a big trouble having to deal with all of those. You may have seen the green the green marker on the chicken there, running into the building there. So that chicken was already grown up, and now he's in the spaceship waiting to be shipped off the planet. So now we need to wait for the other 2 chickens to grow up, big and strong. So we're gonna load them into the ship as well. Come on, chicken. There. Nice. Good shot. Couple of worms less. Plus these are now on the other side of the island. I think there's 2 worms in there as well. Great. Good hit. And there we go. Just fling them off the island. My island. Go away. So we should probably have another chicken ready now. Yep, 2 more. Oops, I think I hit my own chicken as well. Well, it's fine. Poor chickens, having to fight against the worms all the time for some food. I'll try to kill these with my explosion without killing my own chicken. Nice. So he's ready now. So there's one more chicken on that side who needs to be ready. There was one more worm dropping from the sky. So the worms when the pest meter hits full, they actually just drop from the sky. Kind of randomly on the map as well. They can actually hit on the trees and hang around on the top of the tree. They can also hit the buildings. On one of the maps I actually had a... well... there we go. This exactly same thing happened on the other map as well. One of the worms dropped onto the building and he's stuck in there. It's actually also kind of impossible to deal with the worm up there, because none of your own units will shoot up there to get rid of him. So that's the 4 chickens loaded onto the building there. So that's ready. And let me show you. So here's a takeoff transport. So you click on that and the chickens are off. And once he's back, he's gonna actually credit me some gems. 2 per chicken. Some of the ramens, like the bunnies or flabbits, give you 1 per flabbit. So you can earn some from there as well. And my mission at the moment is actually to send a guy up here into the portal thingy, or the shrine. But I'm gonna wait for the transport to come back home, and I'll show you the science center as well, which is basically a upgrade building for lots of things. So I'm gonna build a science center in there, and I'll build the prediction thing, so you can see how this bottom bar works on this mission. So there goes the worshipping, and this is the problem. Everyone is here worshipping. None of the bananas are being collected. It does give me a good moment to actually bomb these with the abilities though, and hopefully kill one. So there's 1 dead based on the sound. Second one dead. Good. That's few of them dead again. So there's a bit of micromanagement to do it this way. If you had the guardians, they would deal with those. You can also build a house, which makes them recharge their power, because the guardians use kind of like this ranged psionic attack to kill enemies, and they run out of the energy. These guys actually use the energy as well. They have like none, and once they're out of energy, they actually cannot fight, which means the house is actually quite necessary on the long run. So you can teach skills to the workers. There's like a freeze bananas, which prevents them from spoiling, so you can run them further and get more out of those. So here's the near future prediction. Let's do that. So now we can have this bar down here unlocked, and you can see that the pests are moving into there. So whenever one of these hits here, one of the pests will spawn, and you get more of these running around. And if you unlock the next level and the next level, you basically see further into the future what's gonna happen, and it allows you to properly prepare against some events. But let's grab this guy and we'll complete the mission. And just get it there. So different missions present you with different problems to deal with. This one is basically, well, it's a prologue tutorial kind of thing, so it's fairly easy what you need to do. So there's the future prediction, and the guys like me now. That's the first mission done. So whenever you start a new mission, you get to a new island, and you get new set of tasks you need to do. On this one, you need to train 6 guardians. So, oh, sorry, 5 guardians actually, and teach you all about the skills. In some later levels, there's like this canyon where there's these poisonous plants that are spawning, actually like man-eating plants that run around, and you have to burn down that chasm there, and then go kill the kind of plant boss there to deal with that. And there's all kinds of different missions. So the game is actually fairly interesting, but it is a bit rough at the moment, because, well, it is in early access. But the main problems really are the camera controls and micromanagement with the Guardians. So if the combat AI was improved a bit, or the AI on the creatures in general was improved a bit, the game would be really solid. And it already has quite a lot of gameplay. I mean, 12 missions that should take about, say 16 to 20 hours or so. So this is quite thorough already for an early access game, and I would recommend checking it out if you like kind of RTS God game series games, and also if you just like these strange odd creatures running around. I was highly surprised with this game. I actually didn't like the looks of the game when I saw the game first time. I was like, what is this strange spore odd game? And once I actually tried the game around a bit, I actually liked it much more. Actually, here is those four-way banana thingies I was telling you earlier. So they spawn these biomass things to 4 directions. But anyways, that's my look at the Mims beginning. I would check it out, especially when it's closer to release. It's probably gonna be a pretty solid game. It's already quite nice and fun to play. It does have a lot of downtime. You need to wait a lot of times for things to happen, but at least you can speed the time a bit. Like collecting biomass and all that, waiting for the chickens to grow up and all that. It takes actually quite a lot of time, and I hope that gets a bit faster also at some point, because it's kind of annoying to just have to wait for chickens to grow up to get enough gems to build your next building and all that. And it's also a bit punishing, so you can really screw up things badly, like spending your gems from time, not dealing with pests properly, then getting predators to eat you and you die. So it is also a quite difficult game. But anyways, that's my quick look into the game, and check out my other quick looks, all my other YouTube content. Check out my twitch.tv channel, where I live stream pretty much every day games like this, other builder and management and storage games. And also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's a good place to follow for all notifications and stuff for my me. And also follow the curator group to check out more reviews and quick looks on the games. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.